Alright guys, welcome to Kansas. Alright, well this is the second video, although it's the first. Confused yet? Alright, this is the same first video that I did the Sphax tutorial on. However, I'm doing it default. The textures can be quite different. And to be honest, I'm actually having issues with a couple of them. Because obviously that's not oil, and neither is that. That's part of the additional pipes mod, so that's no bueno. However, we'll follow the same process, but I'm going to try to be more concise. The other video was an hour and a half. I'm hoping to keep this one at an hour. However, you have the advantage now to see if I attained that goal. Alright, off we go. Okay, before we do that, we are not going to be covering ComputerCraft, and we are not going to be covering Railcraft. And there's a few things in RedPower I will not be covering. This mainly because I haven't found a use for them, and if you're watching this video, you probably won't either. However, if you get to a point where you need those items, you can go to the tekkit.wiki.com or .net. I'm not exactly sure what it is. It could be .org. The link is below in the description. I would suggest you check out the description as well. If there's something you're looking for, I will have it labeled with a time mark, and you can just seek to the part you are wanting to seek. Alright, set it today, and we'll get going. Your nether ores, you have your redstone, lapis, gold, iron, diamond, and coal. The same vanilla ores, except they're in the nether. And I'm just having all sorts of issues. And you copper and iron, which are added. They're part of the nether ore mod, but they're added like in the overworld by Industrial Craft, and maybe RedPower as well. It's there's a lot of mods that add them depending which one's loaded first. It's the one that gets to add them whenever you generate a world. And you can make the blocks out of iron, no, not iron, tin and copper, same as you would iron or diamond and such. Here's your emerald, ruby, and sapphire ores, and then you get the items and you can craft blocks with them. You can also make tools. You can see in my crystal chest, which I'll show you here in a little bit. You have your ruby sword, emerald sword, and sapphire sword. I believe they are more effective than iron. I believe they are just like diamond, except you can't mine obsidian. You have your silver ore. It currently has two uses to me. Uses for RedPower and making blue alloy, and tungsten ore, which currently has no uses, but it's in the game, so you can mine it, and whenever the use comes along, you can just update the mod, and you don't have to start a new world to try to find it. However, it does have a high EMC value with equivalent exchange, and I'll explain that later. Just let you know that this has a high EMC value. The other use for silver I forgot to mention is to make glass fiber cables. You can use silver instead of redstone to make 6 instead of 4. I found that to be probably the most useful use of silver. That was redundant. Here you have your uranium ore and then your uranium block. I was like, what is that? Because I don't play Tekkit with the default texture pack, but there you go. Here you have your Interdiction Torches. I've personally never used them, but some people like them. You can make them like so. Interdiction. One cool thing you can do with the Tekkit mod is the NEI mod. Not enough items. I guess never enough items would work too. I currently have this in cheat mode, where I can grab them, pull them down here. However, you don't have to be in recipe mode to look at the recipe. I can hold my mouse over that and press R, and you're able to look at the recipe, which I find really convenient when doing this tutorial. To make 2 of them requires 3 diamonds, redstone 2 redstone torches, and 3 glowstone. And the philosopher's stone is not used in the production. You make that by doing this. Philosopher's stone is the first item you need to make whenever you start an equivalent exchange. Press backspace and it'll let you go back to what you were just viewing. And press backspace again, it will go out, or you can press E, and that's how you navigate any eye. There you go, done. Oh man, we just started. So that's what the interdiction torches do. They repel mobs. I'm not sure how many blocks back they do that, but they repel mobs. So if they are, whenever the light, how far the light goes, I believe that's how far it repels them. Maybe 10 blocks. Let's go on to chest over here. You have your vanilla chest, 3x9. You have your copper chest, which is 5x9. Iron chest, 6x9. And you can read along. That's your silver chest, gold chest, diamond chest, and your crystal chest. And you can make these, the copper one. Let's go ahead and look up chests. And we have the ender chest too, which I didn't include the other one, so I'm not going to include it now. But it's a pretty useful item. I've never made it before, but look back in the next video probably to see that. You have your copper chest, which is this. Got to get out of the type mode. Click over here. There we go. So you get your regular chest and then make a copper around it. Not sure what the different texture is. That's odd. It may be the different mods. That's interesting. So that's how you make that. And then to make your iron chest, same thing, but you use refined iron, and then you get that from refining iron ingots again. And then you have the upgrade from copper. And let's do silver next. Iron chest surrounded by silver. Gold chest is silver iron surrounded by gold. Yes, I'm correct there. And diamond chest, gold chest, 2 diamonds, and then you have glass on top and bottom. Or you can do the upgrade from silver. It's the same thing, except it looks like you don't use gold. You use silver instead. So that's interesting. I've gone ahead and just made diamond chests. Actually, I use crystal chest, which is a diamond chest surrounded in glass. And what's cool about that, you can see the items inside the chest. No matter how many items you have in there, they'll all show up. So I've got diamond blocks and coal. Actually, in every one of these. But yeah, when you open this, that's how big it is. It's a large in GUI, but you can store a lot of stuff in there. And actually, I'm needing it over there because I'm storing so much copper. Let's go ahead and do Microblocks. That's these over here. If you got your cover corners, panel corners, slab corners, and you can see that each corner gets progressively bigger. Each corner takes everything in the by, it's about 8. So that this corner is the 1/8 of the size as that, and this one is an 1/8 of the size of this. And then you get bigger than that. You get these over here, which they become panel slab strips, I believe. And you make all that by using a saw. And you can make diamond hand saws and the gem hand saws. An iron can only cut through softer blocks, whereas a diamond can get through everything. Alright, let's go ahead and get out of creative, and I'll show you a few things. Let's get cobble here, and there we go. So I can go ahead and put that here, and you make slabs. It's going to make 10 of each. I can show you what I'm doing here. Got that. You get your covers here. You've got your triple panel by doing that. You can also revert back to a full block by putting 4 of them together. The triple panels are the most interesting, I think, because it's the hardest one to get. You have to go through so many steps, and then you can cut that into several different things as well, like so. You put it into a triple cover, or you make a triple panel strip, and I believe you can do that. Once again, you have a triple panel corner, and I can demonstrate that to you right now. I believe that's what these are over here. So you see, you can't. Well, I guess you could put them on the ground, but you can't really put any more on top of that. Just the way it works. Let's go ahead and put. Looks like we need some blocks down. Cobble. There we go. And this is, if you saw my SMP Tekkit video, this is how I did these steps. You do that, and let's go ahead and set creative back on so we can fly a little bit. Boom, boom. So what it does, it takes up 3/4 of the block. I know this isn't a very good demonstration because of how the pixels match up and everything, but it takes a. You see where it stands in the block. I can put it on any corner, so there's 8 different ways to place it, but it takes up 3/4 of the entire block, and that's the only block that does that. It makes everything asymmetrical, which I like that. Alright, and then you can make the panel strips by doing this. Panel, you want to do strips, just put them on the side. So that's how you get your strips. You can also do the slab, get slab strips by doing that. And these are just little designs I made using them. If you take a slab strip and place it in your crafting window, you get a pillar, and I can show you the difference right now. This is a strip, and you can place it like a log, like this. But if you have a backboard you place it on, you can make them vertical like so. It's kind of a long way of doing it, but you can make those stand up like so. However, this one only has one placement style, and it's dead center. And unfortunately, you can't place it when there's something else already there, but you can place it dead center like that. So I guess something cool you can do. Let's go ahead and get out of this and do that. And you can create stuff like that. So like I said, it just kind of gives everything a little bit more depth, I think. So these are cover or panel strips, cover strips. So these are the smallest strips you can make. And I made a little design. I put a pillar column in the middle, and these are panel strips. Slab strips will obviously be what I just did. It's going to be that. You can place them in each corner. And I made this little cool design earlier. and this was a test run. We'll go ahead and do RedPower now. You can place a torch here, and it'll go on forever. Don't believe there's a limit. There is, correct me, but I'm pretty sure there isn't. You make those red alloy wires by placing 4 redstone and oh man, I think a silver ingot. Let's go ahead and test that out. Redstone, meet the redstones. Okay, I'm going to hit for that one. So panel, we don't need that stuff. We need more. Clear our inventory. There we go. Then we need copper. Copper or iron. I believe either one works. Copper ingots. I believe both of these will work. And iron. Okay, we'll need 4 of those, and I believe we just do that. And this is getting power by the solar panels. I'll explain a little more about that, but you get your red alloy ingots. So that's going to do 8 of those. Do that. You see, iron works as well. Alright, there we go. So now we have 3 red alloy ingots. And you can go to a crafting bench of your choice and make a vertical column down the middle. It doesn't work anywhere else. You create your red alloy wires. And that's, in essence, very basic in what you can do. You place them just like that. You can, however, let's go ahead and just get the red alloy. Let's get a whole bunch of those, and we want some green wool, and you can insulate your wires. You can see that what I do to red doesn't affect blue unless you connect them to a redstone source, which they'll connect just like that, like regular redstone. However, this separates it out. You make those by doing this. You make your vertical line like so, and then do the same thing as that, and you get your 12 green insulated wires, and there you go. And you see it'll connect back to that. So if you don't want them to ever connect, just don't use regular red alloy wires. Some basic mechanical issues with it. If you want to power something like this and this, you want to turn that switch off. Normally you just run redstone right up to the block and boom, it's off. With this you have to add 1 more. So if you want to turn it off, you have to run it up. So it lets you run things by things. I can run power by things without interference. But I can put the switch here on white, blue, or green, and it should turn that off. Just like that. And see there. And apparently it likes raining in Kansas. So that's what it's going to do. I don't live in Kansas, by the way. I was just making fun about how flat this thing was. I get the joke. Alright. We have bundled cables. You make bundled cables like this. Bundled. You have all these different ones. They're all the same thing. And you make this by using any wire of your insulated wire of your choice. I think they all have to be the same. Not sure. You can try it out. And then string on the outside. And what that's going to do is give you 2 bundled cables, which you can then put things all together. So if I want to send multiple inputs that direction, but only have a 1 block wide space of doing that, then I can use this bundled cable and send that direction. So it just remembers what came in, what's not coming in. So you have white coming in, going out. I made sure to separate these in every direction so they're not going to the corresponding one. So you have blue, sorry, that's purple, blue, and white, and they don't interfere with each other at all. So a pretty nifty thing going on there. And we have our jacketed wire, and you make that by jacketed. And I've got my line wool jacketed wire, and you make the same process we did with the Microblocks. You want to make line wool covers and surround a red alloy ingot, and you get this. What's cool about this, you can send power through like a hollow panel, and hollow panels you can do this like a hollow slip cover like that. Let's go ahead and get that jacketed. I should have got that. So I can put that there, and it's going to connect through that block. So it gives everything a clean look, because otherwise if you didn't have that, this is what it would look like. And that area there, so it's definitely not as clean. And this fixes it for you. So turn that on, turns it on. And they're actual blocks, so they connect the things like that, which is a cool effect. So you can do design stuff with wires. And there you go. Alright, I want to have to look at the signs now. We have our state cell. Whenever I say off, it's off by a timer that you set like this. That's 2 seconds. I can make it 1 second if I want. However, let's go ahead and make it 1.5 seconds. Why not? You like being odd, right? So 1 is on, 1 plus 2 is on, 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 is off. When I mean that, like you 1, 2, and then hit 1 again to turn it back to its original state, and then turn 2 back to its original state. So you have that. It turns on output A, which I'm calling that area there, and then turn that off after a second and a half. Oh, that was odd. After a second and a half, it's going to turn it off. This is odd. That wasn't doing that to me earlier. Normally that output B, which is going straight that way, it was sending just a 1-tick pulse, but now it's not. Huh. That's odd. Oh, it looks like it's just having a little bit of a glitch. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's put it back to 2 seconds, because maybe that was the issue. No, wasn't doing that to me earlier. Maybe it was because I was using a different texture pack and I was having a little bit more lag or latency issues. Well then, moving on, you can hit 2. What it's going to do, it's going to save the state. So this will be like a actually do this. However, if I hit that on, it's going to go ahead and run. It saves the on state, it doesn't save the off state, which it should do both, in my opinion, but that's how it works. So 1 plus 2 plus 1, and it's going to do it, save the state. It could be useful for just timing issues. So if you have pressure plates going across, you can hit the input 1 and go ahead and go straight, and it'll turn on a T-flip, or it'll turn it on for one thing, and maybe there's a timer, and then, but if you stand in one place for so long, it'll turn this input on, it'll save it on, and then you get out of the way. It'll keep yourself from getting crushed, or you'll suffocate in the wall by pistons or something. That's kind of what I'm getting from it. Alright, you have your timer. I've got it set for a 2-second timer. When it's not being powered, it'll send a 1-tick pulse in this direction. But again, that's not really working right. So I'm not sure what the issue is. You see it's working there, but I don't know. It just needs to be updated or something. Yeah, it just needs to be updated. The block needs to be updated. I mean, I don't know. But that's what it does. It sends a 1 tick pulse on that given counter. And it can be powered to be turned off. This one is a sequencer. You can see what it does. Pretty simple. It's on a timer as well. I'll go down 10 seconds so it doesn't drive me crazy when I'm around here. And that's what it does. So if you wanted to send this if you wanted this to send 1 tick pulses, you can use the pulse former that we're going to get to later on, and you can just hook one to each side of this, and it'll work the way you want it. You can combine things for maximum effect. This is your RS latch. Vanilla Minecrafters know as that RS NOR latch, I believe. This, all it does is switch the state. It's going to be useful for, it's a 1-bit memory cell. So let's say that this was the original state, and whenever this is on, it's going to save that state is on, and until there's a system reset or some kind of reset of some sort, and it turns it off like that. So anytime like if you're on the inside of a vault or something, you want to open it, you can close, or that's not a very good example. Never mind. Scratch that. But it's going to send out the opposite signal this direction. So what's useful about that, when this torch is off, that line's off. When that line's on, this torch is on. So it's a good reference. What is this? I think I forgot about this little boy. What does it do? Let's find out. Interesting. Looks like a repeater of some sort. I may have one like this, like it's kind of like a buffer gate. Am I right? Huh. I'll get back on that. Alright, I've done my research and have concluded that this is an OR gate. Pretty easy find. So if that's on, or this is on, it's going to send power to it. Forget the light with there for a minute. So it's an OR gate. If it's that, or this area over here is on, then the output here will be 1 or on. Let's move on. This is a NAND gate. What it's going to do is if all the inputs are on, then it's going to turn them off. An AND gate does the opposite. If all of it's on, all three inputs are on, so will the output. So I've got every one of these in the off position, which is up, which is so counterintuitive to me, for flipping on a light switch all my life. And so you have that, and that, and that, and that turns them on. And pretty simple. We have an X NOR gate, a OR gate, which we'll do this one first. OR gate will, if that or that's on, it'll turn it on. However, it doesn't rule out or take into consideration what if the inputs are both on. So with this OR gate over here, if 2 inputs are on, it doesn't try to make a difference. It says something's on, I'll output power. However, with an XOR gate, or Exer gates. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but you think between episodes I would have learned that. Nope. So here we go. So both of them are currently on, so let's turn them back both off. So if this is on, it's going to give you output. If that's on, it's going to give you an output. However, if you turn that on and that on, it gives you nothing. So what it does is no matter what you do, you're going to be changing states. So pretty cool. Then your XNOR gates is going to give you the opposite effect. Whenever the inputs are equal, it's going to give you power. Whereas here, if inputs are equal, it's going to give you no power. Turn back to day. Moving on, pulse former. This is what I was talking about doing a one pulse thing. So you click that, gives you a 1-tick pulse. Pretty useful if you were wanting to make something that needed just one pulse. That's what you do. You have your toggle latch T flip-flop. It's labeled as a toggle latch in NEI. However, Minecrafters will know that this is a T flip-flop. What it does is when you press a button, it's going to just change the output. And if you're back behind trying to manipulate something and you need this to change, you can right click on this and it's going to change state. Pretty cool. You have your NOT gates. I don't know why it's way down here, but that's the way it is on NEI, so that's the way I put it in. If you have an inputs of on, it's going to send off in all 3 outputs. So if you turn it on, it's going to change it. So this, to me, is more intuitive because down's off, up is on. So that's a NOT gate. A buffer gate is just the opposite. If you have an input of 1, it's going to send an output of 1. What's interesting about this, it can be used the same way as a repeater. However, this repeater has 3 outputs rather than just the forward output. So it's pretty useful. So if you wanted to turn one color into 3 different colors, you can do that right here. Or you can just do that. Do I have anything here? Nope. Alright. Wire. Let's do magenta. It's a pretty color. It'll go well with green, right? So you can turn it into 3 different wires, and you can make those go any direction you want to at that point. And boom, we'll make it symmetrical. But you can't. I guess you can see this wire here. There's a 1-tick delay on all sides, so that's interesting. I guess a 1-tick repeater. So if you just wanted to repeat something and have 1-tick delay, that's what you'd use. Now we get into the complex stuff. You have your multiplexer. That just sounds complex, I guess because it has a plex in it. Alright, nerd moment gone. I had to write it down. 1 plus 2 equals on. So 1 and 2 is on. Same way with 2 and 1, I believe. Yep. 1 plus 2 plus 3 are all on. 3 is on, so 3 is a toggle, acts like a toggle. Not too far away. However, a 2 or 3 plus 2 is an off. So you can do 2 and then 3 there. It's going to be an off as well. So no matter which order you turn them on, that's what it's going to do. Now you have your transparent latch. This one was interesting because I didn't find much about it. But if you do 1 and 2, this one will toggle. If you do a 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1, it's going to leave them on. And then if you turn 1 plus 2 again, it's going to turn them off. 2 doesn't do anything, but 1, 2, 1 will turn it off. I haven't used this before, so I had no idea of an application for it. You have your invert cell. You have power going through the middle, going forward, and whatever is coming or whatever's coming across, or it'll invert both sides. So if you turn this on, what it does is you can see it turns off the top row of that little cell. There's a 1 tick delay between inverting what's going to the side to side. You have a non-invert cell, same thing, except you have the 1 tick delay, or you still have the 1 tick delay, but it turns everything on and off. And then you have your counter. I like this one a lot. I currently have the maximum count of 5, and it increases by 1. So if I was to move this up to 5, no matter what I did here, it's going to turn off on and off that light, because I have power coming into this plus side and the power coming into this negative side. But what's cool about this, you can set that to 1, and you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this torch, whenever it's off, it means that the counter is at 0. And because I have this maximum count of 5 and a decrement of 5, I can reset this to 0 with 1 hit. If I wanted to press it 5 times to reset it, I could just leave that decrement at 1. Alright, as with the other video, I will not be giving recipes for those. You can do that using NEI or it's already in Tekkit. And with these other things, I can give you the recipes that way you kind of see what you need. But with those, they're very similar. Just in the order of how you make them, using stone pointers and such, and those are pretty easy to figure out, in my opinion. But those I'm going to be linking the Tekkit Wiki in the description below. Alright, we'll take a break and we'll be right back. Alright, we're going to be looking at BuildCraft now. Alright, well, we have our crafting table 3. I'm still not sure what mod this is in. It's either Industrial Craft or BuildCraft. But what's cool about it is whatever you have in your inventory, it's going to show you everything that you can craft. And since instead of actually manually crafting it, you can just pull it down and boom, you're done. You can see that I can make armor from the iron I have. I can make uninsulated copper cables, iron, copper nuggets. That's, the usual. We can come over here and we can look at what we're doing. Let's go ahead and turn this off. That's been running this whole time. Let's go out. That's good. That's good. We've got water coming in this waterproof pipe from this pump, powered by redstone engines. They've been running a while. You can see them flashing back and forth between red and yellow or orange. It's going to do that whenever they're running at optimum efficiency. Usually if they're at red, that bright red, then it's a good thing. Not consistently, but this is where they're going to be. That's where they're going to stay at. All right, and we have our fuel coming into there. It's been running a while. To explain about redstone engines, they require just a redstone power, and then that's all they require to run. Steam engines are the next step, one up. They require coal or anything that you could burn, like wood, bookshelves, all that jazz. And whenever it's powered, it'll start using those items. And what I've got going on here, I've got this redstone engine pumping this wooden transport pipe, and it'll just start pumping out one atom at a time, because it's redstone. It can only pump one atom at a time. And I had coal in here, and it pumps coal into here, and so it kept it running for a while. However, it's pumping coal into there faster than it can use it, obviously. And this may be something you can automate by using a counter over there that we did earlier. All these mods can work together quite nicely, and especially with the additional stuff that you're able to bridge Industrial Craft and BuildCraft, which I like a lot. Which I'll get into that crossover stuff later on in a different video. Like I said, this is just a beginning, starting out type of deal. But these are things that you'd probably want to attain probably within the first day or first 24 hours of playing. Then we have tanks here, and this is, you make tanks by doing a circle of glass like that, 8 glass, like you would making a chest or a furnace, and they can store 16 buckets of whatever, liquid wise, and it's just raining all the time. I decided to store fuel in here because 1 bucket of fuel will last 41.5 minutes for a combustion engine. And each, like I said, each tank holds 16 buckets, and I put 19 buckets in there, so it's been running for probably a good 3 hours. So it's still full, and it still has probably, I would say, 2 buckets left down there. Because non-coincidentally, there are 16 pixels per tank, so each pixel that goes up is 1 bucket. There we go. I love how things work out like that. Waterproof pipes, they work the same as transport pipes. Obviously they transport liquid. Give you a wooden transport pipe here. Let's go ahead and look at the recipe for that. Any kind of wood and glass, and then with waterproof pipe, you get the pipe waterproof, which I'm not sure if that's it's a weird labeling. It's weird, but you get your waterproof pipe like that. You get pipe waterproof from putting cactus in a furnace and getting cactus green, and putting that cactus green into your crafting bench or crafting window, and you get pipe waterproof. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, and then it's supposed to be shapeless, no matter where you put it, but whatever. Well, let's show you how to make the engines real quick. Engines. You have your redstone here, and you get wooden gears by making a little circle here of sticks. Back, and regular piston, and then like that, and you make a steam engine by doing the same process. So if you make stone gears, you put a wooden gear here and surround it by cobblestone on 4 sides. Let's go back. Same deal. And then a combustion engine is using iron gears, and you put a stone gear in the middle, and then you put iron around it. As you can see, if you are wanting to make a diamond gear, you would need a gold gear, which put an iron gear in the middle, do gold on 4 sides, and put a gold one in the middle, and then do diamond on 4 sides. So diamond gears are quite expensive, because not only are you using 4 diamond, but 4 gold, 4 iron, 4 cobble, and 4 sticks. Sticks aren't that expensive, but they do add up if you're building a lot of gears and stuff. In which case, it's not uncommon to make 60 redstone engines. You wouldn't be building that many combustion engines. If you were, then I'd like to know what you're doing. Unless you're doing some kind of really big automation project, then I would like to see that. Be big. Alright, so what I have set up here is this little testing area. We're going to get rid of most of this stuff in our inventory and show you another cool feature of Tekkit. I'm not sure what mod it is. It could be NEI, but you can do hit space and click on any item in inventory. It's going to pull it down into yours. And so I can do the same thing back and forth. If I wanted anything in my hotbar, if I wanted everything in my hotbar in this area up here, I can do that, and it's going to send all that stuff up there with it. Which I didn't think it would pick the inventory itself, but normally if you just hit this area up here in the inventory, it's going to do that. So we're going to transfer these items back like so. It makes this so efficient. Just boom, 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 done. And then now we are ready to set up our test. I do want to put some coal here. I think we'll just need a stack. I think that'll work. So this will start feeding it in like that. And if you have your redstone engine started already, it'll go instantaneously. However, if you let this cool back down to green and then blue, you'll see how slow it is when it starts up. That's almost why I prefer using steam engines, because they have a pretty quick startup. Alright, you can see as it green, it means it's warming up, and blue means it's cold. Alright, there we go. So I'll start doing that again, and you can see it's going really slow compared to those over there. So, there you go. Alright, it started up. You see the combustion engine starts up really fast right off the bat, and you can see how well it's doing. The steam engine almost takes a stack. You can see it just takes, I think it's 52 items at a time, but it only takes the rest of that stack that's currently there. So 52 and 12. This one takes full stacks at a time. You can see we're almost done there, and this one it just barely made it in. So if you're wanting to move a massive amount of items, massive amount of items, your combustion engine is what you're wanting to do. If you're just wanting to remove a medium amount, and steam engine is the way to go. Steam engines are relatively safer than this, and it also takes up less room. To have this stay going all the time, you either need to set up a timer to turn it on and off, which I find less safe than just pumping water in. But I've also had issues of logging off of multiplayer and coming back to an area that's a big crater because I had 4 of these explode in one place. So if you like, if you have to, I guess it's a thing, something you have to weigh. If the reward outweighs the risk, then yeah, go ahead and go for it. You have your pump here, which pumps out water. This is an infinite source, and you'll see every once in a while if you have audio hooked up, or I guess a Matmos. I'm not sure which one it is, but it's going to make a clunk sound whenever you fall into water when it pulls up water, and it's going to refill itself because it's an infinite source. A 2x2 sometimes doesn't refill itself quick enough, so a 3x3 I found is nice, and it makes everything symmetrical. And you do not need a wooden pipe to pump it out. It just pumps out automatically, whereas with this over here you have to have a wooden pipe pull it out. You need wooden pipes to transport everything, and you can see I'm just sending coal back and forth. Yeah, so it's just going to keep this going back and forth until this one actually needs it. But you see we're done there, and oh man, it's so slow because it's not even warmed up yet, because this will start going faster whenever it's warmed up. Alright, we are moving on back here. I'm sorry about these textures. I'm not sure what to do about it. I know the Sphax, it still works fine, but you've got items over here. I currently only want coal, diamond, and copper ore to come through, and that's why I'm using this advanced wooden pipe. I'm able to right click it and say these items are required. If I wanted everything else but these, I can say these items are excluded. However, there are less items that are required than I have in here, so we're just going to leave it at that. This is a gold pipe, and when powered by redstone, it'll make items go fast. And this is a diamond pipe here, and it's going to sort what I put in here. So if I want all these items to go in one place, it's going to have those going to white or gray. It's hard to mix up, but that is white, and it's going to send all these items straight up into that chest. And you're kind of wondering why. Okay, well, why can't it go that way? Well, these pipes on top are iron pipes. I'm able to send items exactly where I want them to go. If you have a wrench, which I need to get right now, you can right click on these and you see where the gray, the metal plating is. You can change where that goes. Wherever the metal, if the items are inside this pipe, it'll only go to the place where there is no metal plating. So it can't go back down, it can't go that direction, so it has to come this direction. However, items can go through metal plating area. So pipe items will come into here, they'll pass this way, and they can only go to the chest because metal plating there and there. And I've got this same thing here. You can see how that works. The reason I had this little extra up here, mainly to represent the iron pipes and its usefulness, but also I want these two to have copper ore. And what this does, this is a distribution pipe, not oil, as the texture pack wants to let you believe. And you can click on something that's not a wrench. And I want 2 to go to white, and I want 2 to go to blue, dark blue. And then like the diamond pipe here, and there are color it's color coordinated. There we go. So white is up and blue is that direction. Believe me, you just trust me on that one. It's not just everywhere's black. I currently have 2 going to blue and 2 going to white. I can do this if I wanted to, but for some reason I want to have 2 pass through that one before 2 goes to the top one. And that makes sense, I believe. So let's test it out. Let's go ahead and put some red alloy down. And it's raining again. There we go. I'm going to pull out some coal first. It's going to speed up. And it's going to send them all up to the top one. However, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that, I believe. Yes. Alright. Well, coal will go to this one now. I believe that will be correct. So you can look here. And it's going to send it to yellow. So if I have diamond there, it's going to start sending diamond now, because it's going to start from the top left corner. And you can see how diamond travels. There we go, go straight up. Now if we have copper there, it's going to send copper one direction out of the diamond pipe and 2 directions coming out of the distribution pipe. You see it went up first. So you see they're going to go to the top one again. So now it's going to do 2 on the bottom one. There you go, that's demonstrated. So this is a nice little sorting technique. This is useful because People that like application. You come in from a long day of mining, just dump everything you had right there. It's going to sort them exactly where you want them to go. Obviously, the more items you put in there, the more sophisticated you have to make this stuff. So if you want all the building materials to come out one direction, because obviously you can't do more than 6 different ways, and that's also including when it comes back in. So if you put anything in red, it's going to send it backwards. What's sending now? Let's put copper ore in red, and you'll see it's going to shoot back toward the chest. Huh, that's interesting. Well, never mind then. Carry on. Oh, so 5 different directions. You'll have one input, and this one's sent it 5 different directions. So the best way to sort that out, you can just put, say, all black will be building materials like dirt, cobblestone. Then you can have another diamond pipe that sorts them out into individual chests as you want. You have all your ores, unprocessed ores go to a chest. You can have all your processed ores go to a chest, and so on and so forth. All right. And what it's not going to do is it's not going to pick up all this random junk because of this advanced redstone pipe. Let's make sure that we got everything covered before we move on. I believe so. All right. So we're moving to equivalent exchange, and that's cool. You have your energy collector. I did that in the last episode too. It's going to send power to this antimatter relay. You can count the 1's digit there. It's going quite slow because these are the entry level of this kind. This is a Mark 1 energy collector, a Mark 1 antimatter relay with a darker circle on top because you combine all this with antimatter, or dark matter rather. It processes it a little bit faster, so you can't really count the 1's digit. You can now count the 10's digit. That's my unit of measurement about how fast it goes. It's like, oh well, I can't really count that. So, and then you have your Mark 3s, and you use red matter. Red matter is quite expensive. It takes you a while to get it, but this is the end goal, and you can see it's going up quite nicely. And also the Mark 3 antimatter relay has a lot more storage. Over here we've got this mostly stored up. It's at 54,000, and this one has 673,000. However, it's using a lot less of what it can actually store. And you can put these energy collectors on all sides, all 6 sides if you want, and that'll give you maximum efficiency. I can show you that right now. I'm kind of curious to see how much it will get. Energy collectors. Let's not do that. Let's do a Mark MK, and that's how it's going to be classified. Alright, it's going to get a stack of those. Put them down here. And you can see how fast it's going up now. You can't count the 10's anymore, and you can count the 100's quite nicely. And we can also put them on bottom as well, so you can just access it from the top. And then you can put that on top when if you're not using it, and it's going to do that some more. The advantage of having Mark 3s is that they themselves generate a light level of 15. You can see here that these are also getting 15. However, if you put some kind of thing overhead, maybe I'm just, oh, that was weird. Let's build a little house around it, because I'm pretty sure I am right on this. If they are not getting light from above, then they will not go. However, these generate enough light by themselves to continue going. Huh. Yeah, there we go. So I just need to enclose this. It's weird. It's like it's getting lag in single player, and I'm not in 1.3 yet. It's odd. Yeah, see it dwindled a little bit there. Not sure why it's doing that, but however, this is not getting light. This will not update, or it will do it by itself, but very slowly. See, it speeds up there. So there you go. This is something I made with you put a Klein Star in it. This is a Klein Star Dre, I think, maybe. It's the, I think it's just a tier. A tier as in a T-I-E-R. It's a certain tier of it. Klein. So your iron, which holds up to, you can see that's here, holds up this 50,000. This will hold up to, I think, 200,000. That 800,000. And you can just see how all this works. And to make a Klein Star iron, you have to put a diamond in the middle and put Mobius fuel around it. You get Mobius fuel by putting 4 alchemical coals with a Philosopher's Stone. As with most, almost all recipes with the Philosopher's Stone, it does not get consumed. You make alchemical coal by using 4 coal. So you need 4 of these, so you need 4 times 4, you need 16 coal per Mobius fuel. So you have 16 times 8 coal, and then plus diamond, and that'll give you your Klein Star iron. Once you get that far, however, you don't really do much more crafting unless that's what you rather do. Let's get it less dark. There we go. Here's your Dre. However, this is you can see it goes up a lot faster. So the higher level of Klein Star you have, the faster it'll charge up. But once you get to the Omega, you know it's going to hold so much energy. It's going to take a long time for it to get that way. And as you saw, when this is full, it's going to keep on making energy. So it's it can't, no matter what you do, you can't really generate enough energy to make this charge. I guess what I'm trying to say, this charges a lot faster than you can create the energy. And you see, I want to suck it up all up right now, and you see actually how fast it does go. And in a second I'll explain. Yeah, there you go. So that's how much it's generating. And you have your sphere, and you have your Omega. Omega is the top one you can make. I'm not going to let those charge. It takes way too long. However, I'll show you how to make what they're used for. When you go to the Transmutation Tablet, you can put these in, and then the first thing you put in here is going to say unlocked. So I can put in copper in here, or say it says learned, and now I can, if I want more copper, I can put that in there and make copper. And if I want, I don't know how many stacks I want, but using that I can make my own materials using EMC. EMC is the value given to materials. It only includes the equivalent exchange mod and vanilla, and it's most of the new ores. I believe uranium, I think, has it. I need to type all that in. Uranium ore. There we go. That's what I'm wanting. Turn that. Nope. There we go. Can you make it? There we go. You can see that this has an EMC of 49,152 once it's learned. So if I have something that, I have enough EMC to generate that, so it's going to pop up over here. However, if I have all this, and it's going to give me anything that is around that EMC value. So there's going to be a lot of things over here that is much more expensive than uranium is. However, since I haven't learned as many items, it's going to be there. But however, if I just wanted uranium, it's going to lock it for me, and it's going to appear right there for me. And then I can just generate my own uranium ore. What's cool about that, you can really do some cool automation stuff. You make a transmutation tablet, by the way, like this. You have your transmutation tablets you can hold, and you have one that and then you can have one that you put down. This is the one that you can put down anywhere, and then you can use it. Creative, there we go. And you have one you can hold in your hand, so no matter where you go, you can transmute all day if you wanted. Alright, some practical use of using for generating things. These are all Mark III energy collectors and antimatter relays. But here is a energy condenser. It's going to produce whatever is in the target item. So no matter, you can actually put things in here, and it'll use the EMC values of those items to create your item faster. So if I had a bunch of diamond I didn't want for some reason, I could put those in here, and it'll transmute to copper very, very fast. But you can see here it generates copper at a good pace by itself. I'm just going to get rid of these. I've got drop items turned off, by the way. And this is something else that's not working. These are teleport pipes. And I've got these teleporting to have this one going to 10, which comes in here, and it sends copper into this chest. This is a automatic crafting table, and it's going to, whenever I have the right resources in both these chests, it's going to produce copper cables, insulated copper cables at that. Something you can't do, you can't generate copper on your own. Sorry, rubber, not copper. So I got sticky resin in here. I've got this one still working because I was about to overflow that container of copper. And I've got this teleport pipe going to 11, and I'm setting it to where it can't receive. And I've got this one receiving at 11. Excuse me. This is an extractor. Currently don't have the fuel for that, so we'll go ahead and put coal to that. Here we go. Coal. Be happy. So it's going to pump out rubber at a pretty fast pace. Yeah, it looks like it's going to put sticky resin in there just a little bit faster than it can take, but I can't put another overclock or upgrade, otherwise it's going to drain it. You can see it's kind of drained there. I'll get to what this does in a minute. Just know that the extractor takes 1 sticky resin and makes 3 rubber, rather than putting it in a furnace and making a 1-to-1 ratio. So this is teleporting rubber over to this chest, and as soon as this has 6, it's going to eat them up. It's going to eat 3 of these up to produce copper cables, which are pretty useful. I mean, you do use a lot of them, so if you wanted to, or if you had another recipe that required copper cables, you can hook this up to send it somewhere else, and it's raining again, and it'll be your, you don't have to craft them yourself, you don't have to do anything, you don't have to even go to a crafting table 3, they're just there for you to take. Alright, we're going to go to industrial craft now. Some of the basic things. One of the first things you'll need to get in industrial craft is an iron furnace. It's more efficient, you don't have to use as much coal, and it's faster. So if you have the iron to spare to make an iron furnace, I would definitely do it. Iron furnace, you get, that's not what I wanted to do recipe. Just iron into a circle like that, instead of using cobblestone. And if you're running low on iron, you can replace 3 of the iron with a regular furnace, like so. What you'll need to do, this is sticky resin here, and we can put that into a regular furnace, and you can create your rubber that way. And you'll need rubber for your copper cable, as you just saw over there, the automation process, and you can make it manually. By the way, these here are automatic crafting benches, but I'm using them instead of regular ones because they'll actually store the items there, so I can just show you much easier. So anyway, that's your one rubber. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So eventually you want to make an extractor to where you make more rubber, because sticky resin is fairly hard to come by. It takes a while for it to grow back onto the trees, because you need to find sticky or rubber trees to get and find the trunks that have a little notch in them, and then you have to use a tree tap to access that sticky resin. Alright, so and the next thing you need to go for is a generator, which is this here. And what it does, before we show you how to make it, before I show you how to make it rather, you put some coal in there, and it's going to generate EU. And EU is the unit of energy for industrial craft, and EU stands for energy unit. Because I've got this bat box right next to it, I do not need a cable transferring energy. You can see this is going up there. To make a generator, you'll need an RE battery, a machine block, and a furnace. Furnace, you know how to make those? You need an RE battery. That's what you need a copper cable for. You'll need 4 tin ingots, 2 redstone, and a copper cable. And you'll need a machine block. So you need 8 refined iron. So you need to smelt 8 iron ores into 8 iron ingots, and then 8 iron ingots into 8 refined iron. And that's how you make your machine block. And then once you have all 3 of those, place them like so, and you have your generator. Generator is also used as a base for multiple other things, including solar panels, which we'll get to over there. The bat box stores energy, and as soon as this fills up, this little red bar will go up as well. And as soon as it can't go up anymore, it's going to stop generating energy, so it won't waste your coal. It's nothing but a good thing. Alright, we have a industrial craft wrench. This is a BuildCraft wrench. This is a industrial craft wrench, and this is useful for taking apart things. I did mention this in another video, probably should have, but if I want these things back because if I use a pickaxe to break them, what it's going to do is going to drop a machine block. So you're basically wasting 4 tin ingots, 2 redstone, a copper cable, and a furnace. So you're losing 8 cobblestone. And 8 cobblestone, it does add up after a while, so you do need a wrench. Make a wrench by doing this. It's using covalence dust, and nope, that's how you recharge it. Sorry. Oh, that was odd. Forgot to make a wrench. I will put up a diagram, hopefully, and I'll show you how to make it. Should be right there. All right. What we'll need to do, see, this is full, and then this is full, so that's a good thing. I've got the copper cable insulated coming out, and the reason you insulate it is because if you don't, you'll, for one, you'll get shocked by it. For every 64 EU that goes through there, you'll get 1 heart damage, and you also, if you don't insulate it, you lose more energy per cable. It's only slight, but if you're transferring things long distance, it does add up. So I'm moving all this stuff here. A copper cable, which I explained over there, can take 32 EU per tick, and so it's low voltage, which is exactly what these things need. No more. They can take less, but definitely no more. If you send more power than that, they'll blow up, which is no bueno. Alright, you have your extractor, which I showed you earlier. When it's ready to go, this thing will be full. If I put sticky resin into it now, like that, and you see it turns that back on. And I turn this down again. Put it down quite a ways. But yeah, I just get to adjust it. It's probably just some bug with the sounds. When it's ready to go, it'll turn it into rubber. So you get 3 rubber per sticky resin, which again is nothing but a good thing. And if you happen to move the cable like that, this little thing will start going down. So you definitely want to make sure you leave the cables there. Copper cable, there we go. And it goes back up quite quickly. Here you have your macerator. You want to, you can make ingots go back to dust if you want. However, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. What you want to do is take your ores, singular, and macerate them. Silver, tin, copper, tin, sorry, said that, iron. Those things will give you 2 dust per go. So if you have this, if you make 32 ore, put in there, it's going to give you 2 dust. And so that's effectively doubling your output. Sorry about that. And you can put that there. And it's going to smelt your iron or copper for you. Well, there you go. You can see something in the top right corner. You have your overclocker upgrades. This is how you make them. You've got 3 coolant cells. You've got an electronic circuit and a copper cable. And a good use for that is to effectively speed up your processing. But what it's going to do is also going to increase the power it takes to run it. You can see although I'm generating stuff here, the generator can't generate enough power. You can see it goes up every once in a while, but it's going to suck your power pretty quickly. But if you've got more power to send than you really need, then go for it. This is about as high as I can go with a macerator without it losing power, because it gets to the point where it requires more power to actually work. At that point, you want to do the Advanced Machines mod, which adds to Industrial Craft. Here's your compressor. You want to put uranium ore in there, and what that's going to do is make it to refined uranium. And you can use refined uranium with empty cells, which is this empty. There we go. Oh, emptier. Yeah, 410, like so, give you 16 empty cells. And then we do that. Get our inventory screen. And then you have uranium cell, and that's exactly what you need to run a nuclear reactor. However, if you want to, another use for the compressor is to make carbon plates. I think that's the way it is. And we need coal, more coal. I think we're going to need 8. The reason I didn't say you need to, you don't need to put coal in there because it's going to make any coal dust, and you might be able to make coal dust back into coal, but there's no real reason to do that unless you're making solar panels or you're wanting to make this carbon stuff I'm about to show you. So you need 8 of these, and there you go. You need to go to your inventory screen, do 2 each, and it turns it into raw carbon fiber for each one. And move these 2 together, and it's raw carbon mesh. And you put this into your compressor, and what it's going to do, you can also overclock this. You can see how much faster it goes. There you go, carbon plate. And this is what you need to create your nano suit. And this is, I would definitely recommend this. This would be one of your first goals to get. You have your carbon plate, and then you have your carbon plate there and an energy crystal. And this is how you make an energy crystal, diamond surrounded in redstone. Pretty simple. Simple, straightforward. And then same thing with your nanosuit leggings. Same way as you normally create leggings, except there's an energy crystal in the middle. And hello, body armor. Or it's the energy crystal in the middle. And then same thing as a regular helmet, except you put a piece of glass in the middle as a visor. I thought that was kind of clever, if I say so myself. And let's go ahead and get back to Dawn. And I didn't show this on the other video either, but I'm going to do it here to make up for it. This is an alchemy bag, and this is how you make it. You have to get an alchemical chest, which this is how you make that. Covalence dust, which you'll have to make by doing this. There are different levels. I think this is that's low, medium, high, or it's hot, low, medium, high. I'm not sure which one it is. Let's go and click that. This is how you make covalence dust. There. I believe that's low. Let's go back and see. Yeah, that back there was low. This is medium. You have to have an iron redstone. Creates that. And this is shapeless, by the way. And you have your high, which is diamond and coal. So once you get all 3 of those, you're ready to do this. So you get your alchemical chest. Alchemical chests hold just as much as a diamond chest, I believe. And then whatever color you want your alchemy bag, you want to make that this wool color here, and you'll need more covalence dust, the high version of it, like that. And to make that, you can, no matter what alchemy bag you have, it's going to be the same. Or sorry, all red alchemy bags are going to hold the same thing. The good thing with that is if you accidentally put your alchemy bag into your alchemy bag, you'll have inception and you lose your alchemy bag. However, you can make another one, another red one, and you'll get your items back. And you'll also get your alchemy bag in which you'll have a spare. I made that mistake once, got really scared, and then realized, oh, okay, well, I found a way to make you get it back, which is awesome. Because you can have, 1,000 diamond blocks in that alchemy bag, and you can lose them forever. but no, not this time. All right. But yeah, you make those any color you want. If there's a dye for it, you can make it. All right. We're going to go to cables now. All these are in order of useful, not usefulness, but in order of power. This is a low power, ultra low voltage, low current cable. You have your copper cable, which is uninsulated, and you understand the difference between uninsulated and insulated copper cable. However, it doesn't label as insulated. So copper is your low voltage. Gold is your medium voltage. And you can, in order to not be shocked by it, you need to insulate it twice. You have your insulated gold by doing this. Rubber, 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 gold, or singly just like that. Or you can, and then you need to do it again. And so you just take your once insulated gold cable and just put more rubber with it. Or you can take your, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but there's a tool where you can right click and it'll add rubber out of your inventory to something that's already placed. I'm missing what it is right now. Maybe it's a type of wrench. Nope. Okay. Splitter, yes. That's what it is. Split. No. Alright, well, scratch that. So then you have your high voltage cables, which you have 1, 2, and 3 insulated. The 4 is a misprint. It says so in the wiki. And I follow the wiki by my heart. I even did a little sleep with that. Wish you could have saw that. It was quite nerdy. Alright, glass fiber cable. The difference between all these, ultra low current is your ultra low current cable. It's pretty self-explanatory. You make this using tin. I forgot to mention that. Tin, just like so. This can only take 5 EU per tick. Your low voltage, your copper cable, can take 32 EU per tick. Gold cable can take 128 per tick. And your high voltage can take up to 512 per tick. And then your glass fiber goes up to extreme voltage, which is 2048 EU per tick. And then depending on how much you insulate it is how much, the more you have it insulated, the less EU loss you'll have. Glass fiber cable is the most efficient. It hardly loses anything, as well as the ultra low current cable, because if you lose anything with that, you basically got nothing. But here they are, all together, going in order. There you go. Alright, last thing, solar panels. Alright, I had to reset things up. I'm going to show you the difference between these solar panels, and yeah. So we have our MFSUs here. They can hold up to 10 million EU. As it says here, it sends out 512 EU per tick, so that's high voltage. So if you're sending something that can only take up the low voltage, if you hook it directly up to this, it will blow up. Warning, that's a disclaimer, it will blow up. And I'll show you how to do that right after this over there. We have our solar panels here, regular solar panels. We have our low voltage solar array. You have your high or medium voltage solar array, and then your high voltage solar array. It's pretty simple to make these. It gets expensive after a while. You make a solar panel like so. Solar panel here. There we go. And then that's how you make one. You have your coal dust, which I showed you how to get earlier, glass, and your generator, which we talked about. This is how you make your electronic circuit. Requires 6 copper cables, refined iron, and then redstone. So you need 2 of those. So it's not cheap at all, but it's not too bad. It's something you should definitely invest in because you can always upgrade. And what I mean by upgrade is exactly what I'm showing you here. You can make a low voltage solar array by combining 8 solar panels and a LV transformer. That's how you make a low voltage transformer, by the way. You can pause the video if you want to look at it. Alright, so and you have your medium voltage here. You can see there's a little bit of a difference in the bottoms of these in this texture pack. It's the color of the whole thing in Sphax. Medium voltage here, and this is how you make that. I'm sure you're catching on how to make these already. Medium voltage transformer surrounded in low voltage solar arrays. And then your high voltage, don't want those. Medium voltage solar arrays surrounded in surrounding a high voltage transformer. And as you imagine, they go up. They do go up with how much materials you put into them. So a solar panel creates 1 EU per tick. So if it takes 8 of them to make one of these, this makes 8. It requires 8 of these to make one of these. So you have your 8 times 8, 64, I believe. I'm good at math, it's not very quickly. And then it requires 8 medium voltage solar arrays to create a high one. It gives you 512. And everything goes in order, so it takes 500 solar panels to make a high voltage solar array. So these are very expensive. However, you'll see in a minute why you want to make them. Because given the space, these are so much more efficient. And it's obvious, but it's you'll see in a second. Alright, so these are generating 1 EU per tick, and it's currently getting 9 in this. This is a EU reader, and this is how you make one. Electronic circuit, copper cable, glowstone dust. It does not have a durability, which is nice, so you can just use it as much as you want. You can test it out on anything that creates energy, anything cable-wise. I'm using these here, that way we can get an accurate measurement. And it doesn't lose anything when it comes up to here. If I was using a different cable, like a copper cable, I would be losing some energy. And energy loss is no bueno. No bueno. Here we can connect, we can look and see how much we're getting here. We can follow my unit of measurement. You can count the hundreds placed there. Cook these up. You can't really count the hundreds, but you can count the thousands. And we are getting 8 units, energy units per tick, sending 72 to the MFSU. We attach this one here, and let's go ahead and see that. You can't really count the thousands, but you can count the 10,000s place. And what we're getting 64 EU per tick. And then we're getting 576 with all 9 of these. And if you want to see how they're lined up down here, that's how they are. And then to this one, we're at 0 here. Let's go ahead and put that down. And you can see it's pretty awesome. And you can't count the 10,000s. And really, this is what most people need. This is all they need, just 9 of these. And I say that like they're easy to get. This is how much we're sending in. Sending 4,600 energy units per tick, and that's how much is making it to it. Compare that to 9, but you don't gain anything except just more space with these. But that's that, and I want to show you how, because with these MFSUs you need to lower the power that comes out, and this is how you do it. You have to have a high voltage transformer, which is what you needed to make the high voltage solar array. And what that does, when it comes in the input is the 3, where it has the 3 circles on it. You can see there has 3 circles, and then trust me, there's 3 circles down here below. Actually, watch this. Going into the void. Going to the void. You see the 3 circles there. Alright. And so I'm turning these 9 high voltage solar arrays, which are producing a lot of energy, and I'm bringing the power down to low voltage to where I can run this extractor. Making quite a bit here. You can see I'm go back up to 64 there, but this is just running directly into it. There's no energy storage device here. If I wanted to hook one up, I would need to put an MFSU over here somewhere and then connect everything back. Well, I believe I've covered everything. I think this video is shorter than the other one, so yay. Hopefully I can get this under an hour. But yeah, if there's anything you want me to cover, that the wiki that I'm providing in the description below doesn't enter very well, feel free to leave a comment, and I will answer to the best of my ability via comment or video if that's needed. All right, well, and this is Klutz broadcasting from Kansas, and thanks for watching.